What if the darkest moments of your life weren't random acts of cruelty, but carefully designed lessons to awaken your soul? Think back to that time when everything fell apart, when relationships ended, opportunities vanished, and you barely recognized yourself. That collapse wasn't failure, it was transformation. Carl Jung called this process individuation, the sacred journey of becoming your true self. The greatest spiritual tests rarely announce themselves. They arrive disguised as chaos, loss, or emptiness. The storm didn't destroy you, it revealed you. The first sign you've passed this test is finding peace in solitude. You realized those who hurt you were often unconscious instruments of your awakening. The third sign is subtle yet profound. Gratitude for lessons hidden in suffering. Gratitude once seemed impossible when you were bleeding from life's wounds. Now when you look back, you see how each trial shaped you, softened you, and deepened your understanding of what truly matters. This isn't toxic positivity. It's mature recognition that meaning can coexist with pain. Can I feel quiet thankfulness for the journey, despite its heartbreaks? Start asking, what is life trying to show me through this? The fourth sign you've passed your soul-as test is developing unshakable inner calm. Even when life becomes chaotic, there was a time when every unexpected challenge sent you spiraling into fear or anger. Now, even when everything falls apart, something inside remains still, as if your soul remembers you've already survived greater storms. Jung said, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." You've learned that life doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. You no longer resist uncertainty, because you've discovered peace comes not from control, but from surrender. Life stops feeling like a constant struggle against fate. You trust the unfolding of things with deep knowing born from experience. You still feel pain, but it no longer defines you. Fear has lost its power because you recognize it as a passing visitor, not a permanent state. You face challenges with grace because you no longer need the illusion of certainty to feel safe. The fifth sign is that your compassion has deepened, not diminished. Often when people endure suffering, they harden their hearts to avoid future pain. But those who truly pass the soul-as test do the opposite. They allow pain to soften them, not break them. You feel others' struggles more vividly because you recognize parts of yourself in their eyes. This compassion isn't sentimental, it's born from understanding. You judge less quickly because you know how it feels to lose direction, to be misunderstood, to fight invisible battles in silence. This empathy isn't weakness but sacred strength, the mark of someone who has seen the depths and chosen love anyway. At this stage, you begin attracting others walking their own healing paths. Conversations deepen, relationships become more authentic, and you feel drawn to people who value truth and vulnerability. Some relationships naturally fade away, not from resentment, but because your energies no longer match. You've learned to release with peace, understanding that every soul plays its role in your story, some to teach, some to test, and a few to stay. The sixth sign is your ability to live with uncertainty while moving forward, with faith. Life no longer feels random, even without all the answers. You feel guided by something larger than logic, in Jungian terms. This is when the conscious and unconscious begin working together. You trust your intuition because it has proven itself through experience. You make choices not from fear, but from alignment with your authentic self. Life unfolds in synchronistic ways. Patterns, coincidences, and subtle signs confirm you're on the right path. Jung called this synchronicity. Meaningful coincidences revealing realities hidden. Order. Those who view past the soul as test experience this more often because their inner and outer worlds have harmonized. Your old self begins dissolving. You no longer chase validation, approval, or status. Instead, you seek peace, purpose, and authenticity. You understand your worth isn't something to prove but something to remember. Your questions change from how can I get more to how can I live more truthfully. These are the questions of an awakened soul that listens to wisdom rising from within. The seventh and most powerful sign you view past your soul as test is this. You no longer identify with your wounds, but with the wisdom they revealed. UV stopped saying this is what broke me and started saying this is what awakened me. Jung spoke of individuation as the alchemical marriage between shadow and light, between the person we show the world and the aspects we denied. To pass the soul as test is to realize these forces were never enemies, but always parts of the same whole. You can now look at your past self, who struggled, cried, and doubted, with compassion instead of shame. You no longer reject that version of yourself because without them, you wouldn't have reached this clarity. The healing wasn't about erasing pain, but integrating it into your evolution story. You sense that every moment of your life, every joy and heartbreak, was the universe speaking to you in a language beyond words. Nothing was wasted. Every disappointment, betrayal, and ending was carving you into the person you were destined to become. Forgiveness changes too. You no longer forgive because someone deserves it, but because your soul can't carry the weight of resentment. Forgiveness becomes liberation, not absolution. You understand that holding onto anger binds you to the past, while letting go sets you free. From this awareness emerges something extraordinary, a quiet joy independent of circumstances, not the fleeting happiness from success or pleasure, but a steady warmth within, the joy of simply being alive, awake, and connected to something eternal. This joy is the unmistakable signature of a soul that has transcended suffering. Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. You've done that work. You've faced your darkness and learned to walk with it instead of running from it. Now, instead of fearing the unknown, you trust it. You've discovered the universe isn't something to conquer, but to flow with. This new consciousness brings deep humility. You understand every soul unfolds in its own time. You no longer need to force others to awaken or understand you. You radiate peace, and those ready will feel it. You become, in Jung's words, a light that others may perceive, even if they don't know why. You begin living in the present with new awareness. You're no longer haunted by past regrets or future anxieties. You find beauty in simplicity, in sunrises, silence, a friend's laughter. What once seemed ordinary now feels sacred. This awakening doesn't mean life becomes easy. Challenges still arise, but you face them with equanimity. You trust that every experience invites deeper understanding of yourself and existence. You no longer resist life, you dance with it. This is spiritual maturity, realizing your worth, peace, and purpose were never outside you, but hidden within the very pain you tried to avoid. After awakening, you become a vessel for something greater. When personal suffering transforms into compassion, you become a bridge for healing others. Your presence uplifts those around you. Without trying, people may not understand why they feel calmer or more inspired around you, but it's because your energy carries peace. You've become living proof that light can emerge from darkness. This journey never truly ends. It only deepens. Each awakening unfolds new layers of understanding. You now stand at the threshold of existence that revolves around meaning, not mere survival. What felt like destruction revealed itself as rebirth. You are no longer who you were before the storm. You are something deeper, wiser, and infinitely more free.